Hello, Facebook and YouTube family. Tonight we're in for a treat. It is Think Tank Thursday. I'm your host, Jessica Dollison Brown. That's J Dollar Brown. We about to talk about this money tonight. Listen, let me know where you are listening from. Let me know you're out there. Put me something down there in the comment section. I want to know where you're tuning in from. Listen, we got a great conversation for tonight. I'm super excited. Listen, we need to hear something good on tonight, especially with all that's going on in our world. We need to know how to move and maneuver. And I got a master strategist on tonight. I'm so excited. So let me know where you're tuning in from so I can see if I can see your comments. Like, share. Y'all know what to do. Like, share. It don't take nothing from me to like and share. Again, I'm Jessica Dollison Brown, J Dollar Brown, and we're going to talk about some strategies tonight. I'm so excited to have this conversation. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to the stage my guest, Megan MJ Baker. She is a master wealth strategist, and we're going to let y'all eavesdrop on our conversation on tonight. Megan.
Hello.
Girl, it's so good to see you on tonight. Looking all pretty. Look at you with your background.
Thank you.
So before we get started, Megan, I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. Well, I am a master wealth strategist, a licensed financial services agent via life insurance, and I'm also a money mindset coach. And what I do as a master wealth strategist is provide people with customized solutions to protect their wealth for life, guaranteed for life, definitely. And as a money mindset coach, I assist people with helping them find out what are the root to their blockages when it comes to their money. A lot of us deal with money traumas. A lot of us don't even know that how we were raised affects how we make money, or how we are able to keep the money or not keep the money. And so I consider myself a catalyst, reformer, to help people reform the way they think about their money, and so that they can move forward and be able to execute their goals and manifest their dreams.
Awesome. So listen, I know that mindset is so important. So who can benefit from a mindset coaching? Is it people with lots of money, or tell me what range does your clients? What is the range as far as wealth?
Actually, everybody. I was very surprised. What sparked me to start researching on money mindset was my own personal story. But I was motivated by myself, but also working with clients in the financial industry, and realizing that people with millions of dollars in the bank, hundreds of $1,000s in the bank, $200 in the bank, that they often can still have blockages. Some people can have, like I had a client who was making tens of thousands of dollars a month, and still didn't have a proper savings, or still did not have wasn't prepared for retirement. And so instead of talking to them about, okay, here is the type of strategy you need or product you should be contributing to, we ended up talking about why is it that when you get that check, you feel the need to get rid of the money. Let's talk about why that is. So that was very surprising to me. And I realized, oh, it's not just people who have $10 in their bank account, but it's also the people who have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. It's just that the person who has a little bit more, that's the only difference between them. is how much money you have in the bank account, but your mindset can still be the same.
Absolutely. It makes me think about people who win the lottery and win lots of money and they end up broke, or
Yes.
people who are athletes, or people who have careers, lucrative careers, and they end up struggling in the end. So
Right.
I'm so glad that you said that anybody can benefit from money mindset coaching. And so tell me, you mentioned money trauma
Mm-hmm.
and money wounds. Can you tell me a little bit what's your has been your experience with working with people as it relates to the money trauma and money wounds? Kind of give us a little definition. You kind of did before, but just for those who may have never heard those terms.
Okay. Well, so when it comes to, we hear about a lot about the emotional and mental traumas that
Mm,
happen to us in our everyday life. But a lot of us don't understand that some of those traumas can also extend to how we see money. And I would say I was my first client. I was the first person to work through the program for myself, and I continue to work through the program with myself. And so one example that I can give, like an example of what a money trauma looks like, is, for example, if you grew up seeing your parent work multiple jobs. So for me, my mother worked multiple jobs. She was always working. And so as a child, although I had said to myself, I ain't never going to be working multiple jobs. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to have my own house. I'm going to do all these things. I said all those things because I saw the impact it had on my mom.
mm,
However, my subconscious mind, our subconscious minds are like computers. They are recording everything. They don't have an emotional, it's not an emotional attachment. It's just, my job is to record the story of your life. My job is to record everything, just like a computer, like you're turning on the recorder, right? And your eyes are capturing everything. So as a child, seeing my mother work multiple jobs to make ends meet, to pay the bills, that subconsciously baked into my mind that money is hard to make and that
mm.
you have to work multiple jobs in order to pay your bills. So I grew up a young lady that always had multiple jobs. And in having those multiple jobs, I was always only ever to pay my bills.
Wow.
Why? Because my mindset said that is what it is. And so whatever it is that we think is what we see, is what we live.
Mhm.
So that is how I had lived my life. And so that is an example of a money trauma where sometimes we don't even realize that it's affecting us, right? Until we get in a situation and then we have to really start thinking, why do I keep ending up in this same cycle?
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you for that example. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. So you just talked about the
Yes.
subconscious mind. The subconscious mind doesn't have any feelings. It's recording it, and we may be on autopilot and don't even
Yes.
realize it. Wow. So that it sounds like anybody who's willing and open can benefit from money mindset coaches. So thank you for that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
as you talked about your mom and your upbringing, we're gonna segue over into wealth building. So now that you're in this space and you're in a better place and you're able to help people, um, tell me what are some things. I noticed you said that you were, life insurance, licensed and certified and all that good stuff. So tell me, how have you seen life insurance be a wealth building tool for your clients?
Man, I have seen through life insurance, I was very shocked. I thought it was just about getting coverage so that your family could pay for a funeral, or so that, your family could be, you know, be taken care of after you transition. But through life insurance, like permanent cash accumulating policies, like an IUL or a whole life policy, you are able to contribute to a product that accumulates cash and it grows with compound interest. And traditionally, we are taught that the only way to build wealth, or the only way to garner wealth, is through investing money in the stock market, purchasing a house, different things like that, or art. But not a lot of people discuss the benefits of also diversifying in the area of a life insurance policy. And oftentimes, when we talk about using someone else's money, is a term that a lot of wealthy people utilize. And life insurance is one of those tools that they use to do that. So instead of
right there, MJ, because I want to say this, which is what I forgot to put up at first. Just the disclaimer: this is for educational purposes only.
Yes.
Our audience, this is educational purpose only. Okay. All right. Carry on.
Yeah, this is for educational purposes only. So with that being said, through life insurance, you are able to actually borrow against your policy to utilize the money for whatever you want. So this is a way for people to contribute to something. You're not draining your bank account you don't have to drain your bank account to purchase the home. If you plan and strategize through your life insurance policy, you can borrow from the life insurance policy to actually put that down payment, on that home and things of that nature. So and then you also have equity indexed annuities. You have where there's no market loss with that product either. Your money is steadily growing, and you can create a pension with that product as well.
Oh, wow. So that's excellent to know, especially in the climate that we're in right now, where people are retiring. Some people are losing their jobs through layoffs and jobs closing. And, they may have those funds, just sitting in a bank. Tell me, what is the benefit of them putting it in some type of product versus them leaving it into just a regular savings account at a bank?
Okay. So I think the beauty is, like, now people are putting their money in high yield savings, right? I think that is going in the right direction, because with the high yield savings, your money is still making money, right? However, a high yield savings account is capped at 3 to 4%, right? There may be a special for 4.5 or 5, but majority of the time they stay at, high is 4% for a high yield savings account. So what if you took that $100,000 or that $50,000 or that $20,000 and you put it in an equity index product, equity index annuity, where the money can get 6% or 7% or 10%? I had a client who we just did a review, and his money had garnered at one point 25%. So it is all predicated upon, how much time you allow. So if you're letting it, to me, if you allow it to sit in a savings account, you can allow it to sit in a product that is going to give you more gains, and you don't have the market loss, like traditional. And your money is still making, so you're still building with compound interest. And then also with that product, you can create lifetime income. So again, that's why I say, hey, I can help you protect and build your wealth for your life. Why? Because with an annuity, with an equity index annuity, you can create a lifetime income where, let's say you say at age 60, I want to retire and I want to start receiving payouts. Well, you can do that. You can start receiving payouts, and they will send you a check annually if you want to. Some companies will allow you to arrange it if you want to start getting it monthly. In different or even if you want to break it down to weekly, they'll do that too. So, and then they will pay it out until the day you die. So for some annuities, the length of time is till age 100. And for others, there are some companies that will go to age 110.
Wow. So basically, you're saying even at 60 years old, if I'm still working, I can still draw, say, hey, I want to get monthly income from my annuity, and it's doesn't have any, there's no restrictions on that, as long as you, okay, listen.
As long as you are, because it's a true retirement product, right? So 401k, 403b, those are all tax codes, right? Those are tax codes. It's not a retirement product, because who wants to lose?
Say it again for the people in the back. Say it again.
It is not a retirement product, people. Think about it. Why would you risk your future? Who wants to risk? I always tell my clients, listen, if you want to play in the stock market, just play in the stock market. Why would you want to put your retirement at risk? Why would you want to do that when you know it's at risk of being lost? Instead of just diversifying and putting your money in something that is going to secure it. Now, I have index accounts, but an index account and an index strategy product are two different things. Why? Because most index accounts are going to go up to 2% or 3%. However, it's still, some of them are still susceptible to loss. Whereas with an equity index annuity, they guarantee no market loss. So that's the difference.
Okay. So for those who may not understand what the term diversify means, can you give us a little bit about it? You were saying, make sure, you diversify. Can you give us a...
Okay. Yeah. So diversification, let's put it in very simple terms. You like to go to Chick-fil-A. You also like chicken from Popeyes. You also like a little chicken from KFC. That's right. Diversification. Okay. But a lot of people just say, well, I'm just only going to eat from Popeyes. Well, you only eat from Popeyes. And so, but then what if you get sick one day? Or what if Popeyes closed down? Where are you going to go at that point, right? So diversification says, okay, I like all of these things can work for me. And so I'm going to put some over here. I'm going to put some over there. I'm put some over there. And it doesn't. And also I want to say this. The beauty of the equity index annuity is that it really doesn't matter. 50 isn't too old. I had somebody tell me, oh, I'm 55. I'm too old to be discussing these things. And I was like, no, you're not. Wow. I have a client right now who is 78. I have a 78-year-old client. I have a 65-year-old client. We just rolled over $100,000 from him, and he plays very heavily in the stock market. And but when I showed him what the EIA could do for him, he said, okay, well, let me diversify to make sure that my family is taken care of, because I know what the stock market can do. I know I can gain 20% today and lose 20% tomorrow. But if you're telling me that this product, I can gain 10% and never lose it, I'm in. So that is what the beauty of diversification.
Awesome. So let's go back for just a second. You were talking about high yield savings accounts and them having a cap. So if the bank or that account has a cap and it makes more than that, where does that other percentage go? So
What do you think? You answer that question.
if it's
You
capped
answer that question.
if it's capped at 4 and we made 10, then where does the rest of you? I'm just asking for the people. I'm asking for the people.
It go back to the bank.
What? Are you kidding me?
I mean, because we have to think about, like, I mean, banks are, nothing is ever for free. And that's what I've learned. Nothing is ever free. Everybody's benefiting from the offer. So they're not just giving you 4% for free. They're just not. So thank you for asking that question. And one thing also, another thing that I want to bring up, since you talked about banks, is also what a lot of people don't know is banks contribute to life insurance policies as well.
Absolutely.
So the money that when you deposit that check every month, okay, your bank account may be showing, oh, I do have that $500 or that $10,000 in there, but really that's just electronic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your actual money is being reinvested. They're not investing it in the stock market because it can be lost that way. It is too volatile. So the safe zone is life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And permanent life insurance policies like IULs, like whole life policies, like annuities. Why? Because there's a zero floor and they can continue to gain. So they are gaining off of your money.
Mm-hmm.
Like as of 2024, Bank of America had $27 billion in life insurance.
Wow, and some of us don't have the first policy.
So how can we not be gaining? You know, it's like if a bank is doing it, well, why aren't I doing it?
That's
You
right.
know, and so I think that's a reality that we need to understand, that if a bank is investing in something that is not volatile, then why aren't you?
Absolutely. Oh, well, thank you so much for answering that question. I just want to put a little something on the people's mind. For those who may have a little of that resistance that she talked about earlier, or those blocks as it relates to the conversation, just want to pique your interest that you may want to do your own research, do your own homework, and find out how this thing works.
Definitely.
It's very important to find out how money works, because in the climate that we're in, which we've been in, but some of us haven't been interested in having the conversation. Particularly us women. I heard a statistic. They were saying a woman would rather talk about a funeral than talk about money. Now, I don't know how true that is. But I did hear that.
Listen, let me tell you something. It is very true. And I actually created a post about it, but I haven't put it out. But in my experience, people can be very, very, very nervous about discussing money. And even if what you're discussing is something that is good for them, and they are very wary of talking about, you know, what their next steps could be, or it seems very scary. And, you know, and I'm just going to put it out that sometimes I find that, you know, because I ain't gonna say that, but yeah.
Because you are who you are, go ahead. Because I am who I am. I get it.
That sometimes it has to, if the person is of lighter complexion than people are more willing to listen, unfortunately. Yeah. That and that, and it makes it a bit discouraging, right? Because you're like, okay, then what am I doing this for? You might so I'm learning, because again, in doing my own personal work, I'm learning to detach from the results, from the outcome,
Absolutely.
and just trust that I am meant to be here. I belong in this space, and that I will attract my client and the person who is supposed to be working with me.
Absolutely. And that, with that being said, there should be the mindset that some other people adopt once they deprogram from thinking that light is right.
Right.
so,
Exactly.
and once you get there, understand, okay, you know what? Let me check this out. Let me try something new. Let me listen. Because again, you can always do your own research. You can check it out. You can
Yes.
fact check. These are facts. As a matter of fact, what Megan is talking about tonight, what MJ is talking about tonight, is foundational things. When she's talking about compound interest and things having time to grow and diversifying and all of that. These are principles. These are foundational principles. Look at all of us. We're all diverse. God diversified.
Yes.
He diversified. And
Definitely.
then things taking time to grow. If you plant a seed, it's not coming up tomorrow. If you do, you better check it out and see what's wrong with it. Because there's seed
Right.
time and harvest. That time, there wasn't enough time. But if you go ahead and plan and prepare, if you don't start somewhere, those of you out there listening who may be 50 is not too late. 60 is not
Yeah.
too late. And here's the thing, if you feel like, okay, I've reached my point or whatever, get the education for the next generation.
Yeah.
Get the education for the next generation. Wealth building is a team sport.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Team sport. So
You
that's why
are right.
you need a master strategist or a coach, somebody to coach you through that trauma, or to help you get where you want to be. And don't forget about the generation behind you. So enough about my rant and tangent. Although I'm very serious, I need y'all to take notes what I said. MJ, is there anything else that you want us to know about building wealth, or things that we can do? Like somebody who may feel like, I don't know where to get started. A person who's new to this, they're new to diversifying, they're new to thinking outside the box besides like taking my money to the bank. What would you tell that person? What would be that person's first step to overcome that blockage and that barrier that may be saying, I'm scared, I'm afraid to do something different. I've always banked with the bank. I always been banked with the credit union, and I never put my money anywhere else. What would you say to that person?
I would say, because I'm a holistic strategist, holistic coach. So I always tell my client, ask my clients, have a vision for what you're doing. Why are we getting this product? Okay, so I've always, banked with ABC Bank. But I've heard that, DEF Bank offers a little bit more. So what is wrong with having more than one bank? What is wrong with, I have more than one bank. I have, and then I got more than one bank, and then a lot of wealthy people have more than one bank. Not everybody keeps their money in the same place. And I always tell people, if you're getting an inkling about something, if you're feeling like, you're like, wait a minute, you just woke up one day, it feels like you just woke up one day and decided, I want to learn more about the stock market, or I want to start investing in real estate. Go with that feeling, because that is God, that is universe, that is your future self saying, hey, this is in our future. This is what we should be doing. And I'll say, like, during the time of when we were isolated and shut down for COVID, I at that point, I was like, you know what? Working from home, I said, wow, I have time now to start looking into real estate, because they were saying at first people were selling the homes in the beginning at very low prices and
Mhm.
different and stuff like that. So I immediately started going, oh, well, I think I'm going to study for my realtor license. And I was going, man, maybe I want to be a broker, and I don't want to sell the real estate, but I just want to get educated and get licensed in that area, so that I know
Mhm.
when I go buy a property, I know what to look for. And so I started studying for my real estate license. I got a realtor, I got approved for loans, and then I decided I don't want to just buy a house. I want to buy a property that I'm going to make money off of. So then I started studying different things. So then it was like I started meeting people online that were doing the same thing, and I got educated in it. Well, in the midst of all of that, the prices started skyrocketing because of people moving.
Mm.
And so it went out of what I could personally had gotten approved for, right? Or it was going to be a fixer upper and
Mhm.
things of that nature. So I still went with that feeling, but then I thought, and immediately I said, oh, I was like, maybe this was an exercise to tell me this is where my future is.
Mhm.
And I followed that feeling, and now I am more educated for when I get ready to step back into real estate. What am I going to do? Now I have more of a vision. Now I understand a little bit more. So that's why I say go with that feeling, because your future self is telling you this is an area that we're going to go into. This is an area that's going to expand us and grow us. And it's like, I think that in this time you have three types of people. You have the people who are trying to go backwards because they feel like that's better. You have people who are wanting to go forward into the future, and then you have people who are too scared to do anything. And the people who are too scared to do anything, who are frozen, are
Mm.
going to be left behind. And the people who are going backwards, see, either you're going to go backwards or forward, but either way, you're going somewhere.
Correct.
You just have to make the decision what direction you're going to go. But one thing that I'm realizing in this current season, this current climate, is that you have got to move. And if your money is not moving and it's just sitting in a bank account, then you are that person who's going to be stuck. You
Mhm.
got to push forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As Lonnie said, forward. So
Yes,
basically, she's saying the winds of change are here. Now
yes.
you can either go against the wind or you can flow with the wind, but you're gonna move one way or the other.
But you're going to,
And
and oh,
go
my
ahead.
bad.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
just okay. I was gonna say, let's look at the current how the people in the federal government are unsure as to whether they're gonna have a job tomorrow. But thankfully, there were 33, 35 officials that stopped the movement to shut down to give those people their severance packages, right?
Yes.
So these people have 401ks, 403bs, they have IRAs, all connected. And so what's going to happen to their retirement? What's going to happen to their 401ks? What's going to happen to their 403bs and their IRAs? Where is this? What because I'm sure they possibly will be able to get a job because they're getting a severance package. But what is going to happen to their retirement now? Are
Mhm.
you going to leave it to the government, or are you going to take your future in your own hands, grab your pension and say, let me roll this over into something that I know I'm not going to get any loss. And then I'm going to play with my future a different kind of way.
Absolutely. I'm going to play strategic. I'm going to play smart.
Yes.
I'm not going to leave to the winds of chance. I'm going to the flow. Come on, that's good stuff right there.
Yeah.
Especially if you built it, it's there. And if you put it in something, like, you just got to use wisdom. You got to play chess and not checkers. Don't get all in the emotional parts of what's going on and feel like don't lose hope. There's hope. There's always ebbs and flows. Listen, you'll bounce back, but in this time, this is the time to think differently. And as they said, there are some things out there that you may not have even educated yourself about. I'm glad you shared that about you going to, looking into real estate school and all that kind of stuff, because the thing is, somebody else would have felt like they failed because they didn't, do this or do that, but you realize that you gained the education.
I did.
And that's going to be the key. A lot of times we get to certain ages and stages and we no longer seek knowledge or seek to be wiser, and that's really where you get stuck at. That's really where you get stuck when you don't, when the scripture that say my people perish for a lack of knowledge. People, what you don't know can't hurt you. That's a lie.
Yes.
That's a lie. So being able to educate yourself is so many different things. Now, of course, verify your information, and vet the person that you're listening to. But the for the most part, we're wide open. Even those who may be laid off or feel like, hey, I don't know the certainty of my job. Right. First of all, as MJ said, she's a holistic person, and I am too. Listen, breathe through that. Don't let your emotions get the best of you, and don't allow fear to cause you to move in ways that are not going to be future thinking or future forward. Yeah. So I just want to encourage those people who may be, feeling like, oh, the world is turned upside down. Yes. Yeah. It is. But we're gonna be all right.
And you know what? And something else I just want to encourage people to is, and this is something that I personally have been practicing because every day something's popping up. Every day, there's something new, and oh my God, what does that mean for me? Or what does that mean for those around me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And what I have started saying is, it has to work for me. Mm-hmm. Whatever it's going, what the things that are going, it's going to work for me. It is going to work for me. So my expectation is that everything that's being put out is going to work for me. And as so I realize as I begin to walk through, it's like I walk a lot lighter, I'm walking lighter and not heavier, because I'm sitting in a space of, oh, it's all working. It's all working out for me. It's all working out for me. It's all working out for me. It's got to. It's got to work out for me. That's fine. Even if I hit a bump, oh, it's working out for me. That's fine.
Absolutely. I think that resonated with Lana on tonight. She said everything is always working out for me.
Yes. Right?
Yeah. That's good stuff right there. So listen, MJ, thank you so much for your time on tonight.
Yes.
Tell us about some great things, how we can use life insurance products as wealth building tools, how the banks do it.
Yes.
You told us about some annuities, some places to be able to put our money. Even if you feel like I don't have any money, guess what? You got to start somewhere.
Right?
Let make a decision to start on tonight. So
Yeah.
Emily, I want to if you could put your information in the chat for us. Are you able to do that? Where I can
Um,
pin it so people can see it.
yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna post on Facebook.
put it on Facebook and I'll pin it. And while she's doing that, if anybody has any questions or anything that they want to ask about anything we've discussed on tonight, the money wounds, the money trauma, like I said, the products, the services. Remember, all of this is educational. This is education. We don't mind sharing the information on tonight. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and for joining us and for liking, sharing. And if you haven't, go ahead and still share it because they can come back and watch the replay.
Yes.
On this thankful Think Tank Thursday. We are grateful to be here. And so glad that MJ took time out of her busy schedule. She had an event right before this one, but she came right in, jumped in, and didn't hold anything back. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So what I want to do, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're gonna let you have the final word on tonight. Anything that whatever you want to share on this evening, we're gonna let you take us out.
Okay. Well, I just want to encourage people, those who are watching live and those who are watching the replay, is that do not be discouraged in this time that we have. You know, if you feel like if certain things are coming up, and you're feeling uncomfortable about it and you feel like you're a little out of place, embrace that discomfort, embrace that change, because as you embrace it, it's actually your future self. It's actually God. It's actually a spirit in you saying, hey, let's address this so that we can move forward. So if you're fearful and afraid of meeting someone like me to talk about how I can build wealth in life insurance, have the meeting anyway. Okay? Because oftentimes I think we think that we have to commit to a thing, but really it may just be information that you need to hear to diversify what you're already doing. And know that we all don't know everything, and that everything is continuously working out for you on your behalf. And that's the biggest thing, is I want people to embrace the change, embrace the new, because that is what is going to get you to the other side.
Awesome. Embrace the new. So again, that's MJ's contact information, her email address. Make sure you tell her that you heard it on the Think Tank Thursday.
Yes.
Love y'all. Good night.
Good night. Bye.